Good evening. We are now live, and what a show I have for you tonight. I'm going to wait a couple minutes. I want to make sure that this is working because, I need to make sure that that's working. How's everybody doing today? Happy New Year. The first show for 2026. I'm so excited. I have quite a bit of stuff to go over with today with you. So thanks for tuning in. If you would, make sure you hit the thumbs up and let me know where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from. That would make my day. So I'm going to hang out for a minute and see if anybody else shows up just to see what's going on. I got quite a bit of stuff to talk about. And I am so excited for the new year. I have a lot of things. But you know what? I have a lot of information to share. And so let's go ahead and just start. Because I'm not sure who will show up. If you show up, yell at me, give me a chat. I'd love that. And then we can talk about whatever. But first of all, I need to let you know that for some reason I was in a frantic mode to try to get everything lined up and ready for the show because I have so much to talk about. And right at literally 20 seconds before I went live, I figured it out. So I'm a little flustered right now. Bear with me if you would. But I just wanted to say Happy New Year. And I want to go back to my live that I did 2 weeks ago. And that would have been on December 30th. I had some information that I wanted to share with you that day, but I kind of held off on doing that because I was waiting on some things to happen first. But we talked about the Grand Sport, the Corvette Grand Sport. They have confirmed, GM has confirmed that they are going to produce the C8 Grand Sport in 2027. And in my live, I said a 6.6 liter V8. And on my show, I don't like to say stuff that's incorrect. I don't know why I said 6.6 liter V8 because that's not right. And I started thinking about it after I published the show. And I had to go back actually and watch my own show because I think I said 6.6 on the live, and I don't know why I said 6.6 because I've done other videos about that, the new small block, and I know it's a 6.7 liter. I know the 0.1 doesn't really make that big a difference, and I know that they are looking at what horsepower and things like that it's going to produce. But I wanted you to know that when I make a mistake, I'll be the first one to go, hey, I made a mistake. And I made a mistake 2 weeks ago, and I apologize for that. For some weird reason, I don't know why, I said 6.6. That was wrong. It's supposed to be 6.7 liter V8. So now that we have cleared the air on that, it's kind of weird because nobody really busted me out on it. No one said, hey, dude, you're wrong. It's not a 6.6, it's a 6.7. But hey, anyway, I actually ended up realizing myself that I said the wrong thing. So I wanted to start off by apologizing for that because, I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. So now I have some really, really big news, and I wanted to share it with you. I'm actually looking at my screen because I want to show you a really cool short video. But those of you that know me, you know, and you've been hanging out with me for a year or so. I've had the channel now a little bit over a year. You know that my channel got started because I got a really amazing Camaro SS 1LE, and I decided I was just going to start making videos and put it on YouTube. And I started off with, hey, this is my car, and I walked around the car and showed you my car. And then I put it on the dyno, I did a video. I had the motor built up, I did a video. I went to car shows, I did a video. That's how my YouTube channel got started, was with the SS 1LE with the race package. I went to Camaro Fest, I ran it down the drag strip, videos. I did all that. And also, about May of last year, I started doing videos at one of my favorite Chevy dealers in Warsaw. And what I would do is go in and just start doing videos on their Corvette showroom and what they had on the floor for sale. And that seemed to take off pretty good. Everybody liked those videos. So I started doing that once a month. And then, like, it was bugging me because I wanted a Corvette really bad. And I also wanted a different or another Camaro. And things happened, and I got really deep into the SS1LE, which I had a great time with it. I loved it. But here's the thing. The money that I had in that car, I was going to keep my first idea was to keep that car and get what I would consider an entry-level Corvette, like a C5 or, you know, a base model C6. And then I kind of decided that I wanted to switch gears a little bit, and I wanted my expensive car to be a Corvette, and I would get a slightly used, a few year older Camaro. And so I went on this mission. I started over a year ago looking for the original Camaro that I wanted really bad. Like, I wanted this Camaro so bad when they came out in 2009 that I could lose my mind. I wanted it really bad. And that particular car was a Synergy green metallic Camaro. Now, my wife and I, my now ex-wife and I, we went to our local dealer and we put $1,000 down on those when they started making, you know, if you remember in 2008, they came out with the Transformers movie and everybody lost their mind about the yellow Camaro. And then they announced the green, Synergy green, and we wanted one because we love that color. I think the color is amazing. Well, looking back on it now, and I don't think I realized it even back then, the car was a 6-cylinder, and then in 2011 they started making an 8-cylinder in that color. And then they only produced 255 of those cars, which is what I'm to understand. And so I decided last year, in the middle of the year, maybe toward the end of car season, you know, I'm thinking July, August, September-ish, I decided that I wanted my expensive car to be a Corvette, and then I wanted to try to get a Synergy green Camaro. And so in November, I traded my SS1LE in on a Corvette. As you know, if you watch my channel, if you follow me at all on any social media platform, you saw that I got a black 2015 black C7 Corvette, and I love it. And let me show you a picture of it real quick, just in case you're new to my channel. I will show you a quick picture of it if I can find it. Keep going back. Hang on a second. Here we go. All right, let me share this with you real quick. This is a picture of my 2015 C7 Corvette. It only has 20,000 miles on it. Somebody had it, took care of it. It's amazing. I found the car actually at the dealership where I was doing the walkthroughs, and I fell in love with it, instantly fell in love with it. And so, I went back and bought it. Actually, I went back and traded my Camaro in on it. So that's what I did. So I wanted to tell you that, but when I did that, I also had in my mind that I was going to try to find a Synergy Green Camaro. And guess what? I found one. So the announcement that I wanted to officially make tonight was that I do in fact have my very own 2011 2SS RS Synergy Green Metallic Camaro. Now this car came out of Arkansas. I did a Carfax on it, and it's a 2-owner car. The first person put like 10,000 miles on it. The second one put about 20,000 on it. And here's what I did. I just started looking at all different places. I was looking all over the country for this car. And I actually last winter I was looking at Marketplace, and I found a couple of them up in Detroit. I found one in Detroit. There was also a really nice orange car up in Detroit. And I made a trip one Saturday in the winter last year, and I went to Detroit and I test drove one of these cars. It was in terrible shape. Like, I don't even remember how many miles was on it, but it had somebody had wore it out. And I was like, you know what? As much as I want one, I'm not going to buy that car because it's just not good enough for me. So I bought, I actually started looking at Carvana.com. And I just did a search. I was looking for a manual Synergy Green 2011 SS Camaro. And every single time I got on there, obviously they keep feeding you the cars that you don't really want. And so I sent them an email and I'm like, look, this is the car I want. When you get one, send me an email so that I don't have to keep sitting here looking at these all day long, all the time, because this is the particular car I want. And if I can find one, I'm going to buy one from you guys, because I found out that I'm getting excited. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud. I found out that on Marketplace, you deal with a lot of wishy-washy. And I'm not gonna drive to Detroit and get the runaround or find somebody like I found a guy that had that beautiful orange car, and I'm in his driveway with money in my pocket, and he's like, I don't think I want to sell it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do that. So anyway, I sent Carvana a message, and I'm like, look, if you find this car, you let me know. And it's the weirdest thing, because I got an email and they said, hey, we found one of those cars that you want, and here it is. And it was a Synergy Green manual transmission, but it was only a 1SS. And I really wanted a 2SS. And it had like 60,000 miles on it. And so I was thinking about it, and and I'm like, ugh, I want one of these cars really bad, but I don't want a 1SS. And somebody bought it, and I'm like, cool, you guys just fixed my problem. I don't have to sit here and try to figure it out. You fixed my problem. Someone else bought it. So they marked the car as sold on the internet, and literally one day later, another car came up, and it was an automatic, and it was really nice, but it had 75,000 miles on it. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know about that. So a couple days later, this car came up, the one that I bought, and I purchased it. And so I just wanted to share that news with you guys. If you watch my lives, you know that I'm a Chevy guy to the bone. I'm a Chevy guy, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. If money wasn't an issue and I could get whatever I wanted, I'd probably have 5 or 6 Chevys, and I'd probably end up going out and getting a Ford Mustang and maybe a Dodge, Challenger, just because I like them all. I do like them all, but I work for a living, so the ones I buy are probably going to be Chevys. So I wanted to share the good news with you. Guess what? MusicMan has a Synergy Green. Yeah, I was going to show you that video. I don't know why I clicked it off. But yeah, this is, I made an appointment. I actually purchased the car on the 23rd of December. So when I did my live last time, and I showed you let's see if I can get back to where I want to be. So hang on just a second. If I was on my live and I showed you my friend over here, the Grinch. Remember I told you I love the Grinch? Well, I decided last year that, I know several people that have the Synergy Green car, and a couple guys named their car the Hulk, which is awesome. It goes with the color and bodes well with the fact that it's a mean car. It's bad to the bone car. But I decided I was going to name mine the Grinch, and that's exactly what I did. So I bought it on the 23rd of December, and I had to wait until the 10th, which was last Saturday, to get it because I worked during the week and I had to make a Saturday appointment. The first Saturday of January was all booked up. They didn't have any drivers available to bring the car to me. So I wanted to share this with you real quick. Check this out. Now, if you are subscribed and you have the bell turned on, then you've already seen the video that I put up on this car in my garage. But this is kind of cool, this little video. Let me mute this. That's my car going by on the Carvana truck. I went out to the interstate, out to 69, and I followed this dude into Fort Wayne hauling my car, and it's pretty cool, right? And the guy, I told him that I was in my Cadillac, and he's like, that's pretty cool. I've never actually delivered a car and got basically an escort coming into town, but yeah, that's pretty neat. So I thought maybe you might get a kick out of that. So that's pretty cool. My car coming into town on the Carvana car hauler on a Saturday morning. They took the car off of the car hauler, and I basically, the first time I drove it to out to Warsaw to do my video walk around for the month. So, I just wanted to make sure that you guys had a chance to see that. This is actually parked at the Chevy dealer out in Warsaw, because I had a chance to drive it out there, and I was pretty tickled to death to be able to do that. So I thought I'd share these photographs with you. And then I came back to the house and I did shot my video, and then I put it all together, and put it out on Sunday night late. But that's the Grinch. Welcome to MusicMan's Garage. So yeah, I'm pretty tickled to death about that. And I think there's even a photo here with both my cars in the garage. And I'm excited about that, So I wanted to make that announcement. And I'm probably going to put together a small video about Carvana and the experience that I had with them. Now, the really cool thing is, it was a really simple transaction, basically, and I won't go into into all the details about it, just because, then you have a reason to watch the video that I put out. But yeah, so I have a 2015 Chevy Corvette C7, and my new addition is the 2011 2SS RS. It has a silver stripe on the hood, which is really cool. Actually, one of my friends has one with the black stripe on it, and I really wanted the black stripe, and I was bugging him about selling it to me, and he's like, dude, I'll be sleeping on the couch if I sell it. My wife will she'll kill me. So anyway, there's that. So I just wanted to show you that. So, and let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, so with that being said, then I wanted to show you this really short video real quick. A few years back, I had a 2.5 car garage built, and I was able to, let me show you this one here. I was able to stuff all 3 of my cars in the garage. How cool is that, right? It's close, but I got room to pull the daily driver in and out through the winter, and enough room on either side for the one for the Camaro and one side for the Corvette. And obviously, when summer comes along and I need quicker access to the Corvette and the Camaro, I'll leave the Cadillac sit outside in the weather, and that way I can access the other cars a lot quicker. Now, I hope you guys are as excited about it as I am, because I'm telling you, I'm pretty much tickled to death about it. I actually came really close to buying a different one last winter. The president of the NEOCC, Northeastern Ohio Camaro Club, I told him I was looking for one, and he sent me a guy on Facebook that lived in Chicago. And the guy, actually, when I got a hold of the guy, he said, guess what, I'm getting ready to move overseas, and I have my cars, all of my cars are in storage, but I do have a friend that has access to the car. So you send me the money, I'll let you go up there and get it, up to Chicago and get it. And there was just a lot of kind of weird stuff about it, and I decided, the timing wasn't right, and I ended up not getting it. And so I didn't buy that particular car. But I did want to show you that. And then I want to tell you, one of the main things about Shop Talk, in my opinion, whenever I do anything around my house, or I'm confused about how something works, I always kind of scratch my head and go, where can I find out information? And so I always turn to YouTube. Like, how do I do this? I get on YouTube and I search it, and there's at least one guy on there that has a video about how to do this or how to do that. And I'll give you an illustration. when I got my Corvette, I was like, how do I program the buttons in the ceiling for the garage door opener? Because this is an older car. Guess what? There's a guy on YouTube that had that information. I did the same exact thing. How do I clear the code and reprogram it to my garage door in my Camaro? I did the same thing last Saturday. So that's kind of one of the main reasons for Shop Talk is for information. And you need to understand that if I talk about something on here, it's because I either own it or I believe in it and I want it. But I'm not gonna really talk about a bunch of stuff that I don't believe in, or have a problem with it, because that just doesn't even really make sense. But I want to share this with you, and I want you to understand that nobody pays me. I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is just something that I do for fun, and it's something that I want to explain to you. I want to share this with you because I'm talking about hundreds of dollars. This is something that I did that has saved me hundreds of dollars. Okay, over $1,000. I'll just tell you, and I'll give you the details, but hear me out, please. So, if you are into cars and you have something that's a collector car or something that is a show car, you don't drive it year round, right? So the National Corvette Museum has an insurance company. It's called NCM Insurance. And I started talking to them last year about it. And I called them and they're like, well, we have different levels of things that you can do. And, one of the things is there's 3 different packages. If you drive your car less than 1,000 miles or less than 3,000 miles or less than 6,000 miles, you can pick a package, okay? You can decide what you want to do and how many miles you want to drive that car. So when I had my Camaro at the time, and I'm like, no. I'm going to drive my car more than 6,000 miles a year. I'm not interested in that. And so I didn't buy insurance from them last year. But now things have changed. Now I have 2 cars, and I have 1 car, which is the Synergy Green Camaro. I don't plan on racing that down the drag strip, and I don't plan on, really going on a road course in that particular car. I plan on cleaning that car up and going to car shows with friends and people from the NEOCC that I love hanging out with, and I plan on showing that car. It's a show car. It'll be actually the second show car, in my opinion, that I've ever owned, and I've wanted one for 17 years. I finally got one, and I plan on showing it. I plan on, Mr. Grinch is the name of the car. I named him. I'm going to, do some things to that car to make it look good. And anyway, I wanted to talk to you real quick about the NCM insurance. I hope you don't feel like I'm babbling on about or jumping around. I feel like I'm jumping around. So let me stay on focus. So if you have a collector car and you don't drive it less than 1,000 miles, 3,000 or 6,000 miles, then this is something that you might want to check into. The other thing is one of their other criteria is you have to keep your car in a garage. It has to be kept in a garage. I'm adjusting this stuff because I set it up, like I said, right before I went live and within 20 seconds before. So you bear with me a little bit. I'm still learning how to use some of this stuff. But, okay, so there's the mileage thing, and your car has to be kept in a garage. And the third criteria that you have to use is you must have a daily driver. If you have a daily driver, right? You have a daily driver, you keep your collector cars in a garage, and you plan on driving them less than 1,000, 3,000, or 6,000 miles, then you qualify to have NCM insurance. And so I got on the internet and I plugged in all the information for my Corvette and my Camaro. And I will tell you right now, this is a little personal, but I want to tell you because you guys are my, my people. For just my Corvette, I paid $1,500 a year for insurance, just for the Corvette. Okay? I called my insurance man. I'm like, dude, how much is it going to cost me to insure the Camaro? It's $1,200 to insure the Camaro. And I'm like, even with homeowners insurance, Cadillac insurance, Corvette insurance, and the Camaro, you're telling me that now you're telling me I'm going to pay $2,700 for 2 cars? Are you kidding me? That's insane. So I called in, I got on the internet, like I said, I plugged in all that information at NCM, and they insured both of my cars for $1,500. So I saved $1,200, just me. That's just me. Now, the only reason that I kept pursuing this was because it doesn't it make sense? And here's the other kicker. A lot of people don't understand this. Just because it's NCM insurance, or we all know that NCM stands for National Corvette Museum, that doesn't mean anything, because if your car's a collector car and you qualify, you hit those 3 criteria, then you qualify. That's it. Lamborghini, Porsche, it doesn't matter what it is. McLaren, BMW, Competition 8, Mustang, whatever car you have, if you meet those 3 criteria, you qualify. And I'm telling you that nobody is paying me to say this. I'm doing this as a favor to you because I want you to know about it. I've got cousins with Mustangs. I've got other cousin with the Corvette. I have friends with older Camaros. If you're watching and you don't have NCM insurance, you might want to consider checking it out. And one of the main reasons that I know about this is because one of my favorite other YouTube channels is sponsored by the NCM insurance company, because he's all about the Corvette. And he has said it on his show many times. It doesn't have to be a Corvette. If it's a collector car, 1, 3, 6,000 miles a year, and you have a daily driver and keep your collector cars in the garage, you qualify. So I wanted to put that out there. I hope you guys are as excited about that as I am, because to me, that's huge. Like, for me to save $1,200 a year, that's a lot of money. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to put that out. And then, so basically that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. What were those things? Again, I do have one more thing that I want to show you. Let me pull this back in. Have you seen this video of another C8 Corvette catching on fire? That's crazy, right? I'm going to mute it so you don't have to hear it, but I've seen this on socials. That's like the 4th or 5th Corvette burnt to the ground. I think that's pretty terrible. I don't know if it has something to do with the recall on it, or maybe the person didn't take their car in like they were supposed to and get it done, or what was going on. But yeah, so I just wanted to welcome you to 2026. And please understand that I am totally stoked about the upcoming car season. And I was busy last year with one car. Now I've got two. So this is going to be something new for me. I'm excited about it. I have a couple of close friends that they were the only two people that I told about actually getting the Mr. Grinch. And so I appreciate you guys, and I'm looking forward to the new year and getting this out. I tell you what, I took this car for a drive. I put about 100 miles on it the day I got it, and it's definitely a different ball game than the 23 SS1LE I had, and I'm excited. Like 17 years coming, I've been wanting one of these, and I finally got one in my garage. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. And I wanted to tell you I'll see you in 2 weeks. And you know what? Thanks for hanging out with me today on Shop Talk. I'm out.